And what do you sacrifice?
Calm. Kindness, kinship. Love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight, they set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I look down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything! Just stay with me, Lonnie. I need all the heroes I can get.
Good evening, everyone. Another night, another Veda video. This is the ninth Veda 9th video. So today I wanted to share another one of my favorite monologues, and I think it's probably it's probably my top 5 favorite modern movie monologues. Like, seriously, like, there's whoever wrote this was just a genius. um and you could see why. Like, it is such a heavy uh monologue because of everything that is trying to portray through this dialogue, especially in the context of the monologue per se. So basically, the first guy, which is named Lonnie, he's a ISB officer, which is basically Imperial Security Bureau. I cannot pronounce that, but basically like the FBI. He's like CIA or FBI. Like, yeah, Central Intelligence. He's basically CIA of the Empire. The CIA of the Empire. Uh, so, and he's secretly feeding information to Luthen, which is the main character there, the one that does the speech. Um, he um he so he's basically secretly feeding information to Luthen, but he's also struggling with the dual life of what it is basically a double agent. He's torn between the role between the Empire and his allegiance to the rebellion. And when he in this scene he's expressing concerns and is considering leaving the rebellion because it's becoming too dangerous and too morally uh, like complex for him. Like, his moral integrity is in question, and so this is the monologue that Luthen delivers in response to that, because like like he's really turned the character Lonnie. So he asks him, so what have you sacrificed? And then he goes into this, which shows some really cool thematic elements, like sacrifice, moral ambiguity, the cost of the rebellion on the people, and the isolation and loneliness that comes from his side, personally to him. So when he speaks, when he's responding to the sacrifice that he's making, it's basically his this monologue is also portraying the thematic elements of the rebellion as a whole, because the fight between the Jedi and Sith is straightforward, at least in the context of the movies. It is evil versus good. You're fighting for the moral future of the galaxy. You're trying to rid the galaxy of the dark side, and the evil is trying to get, conquer everything, get more power. In terms of the sacrifice that he's responding, it's not just in terms of physical danger, but in terms of his soul and moral integrity. He says, like, I made my mind a sunless place, which basically is saying, like, he's forsaken his own happiness, his peace, and moral clarity for the cause of the rebellion. His sacrifice is completely is total. Like, there's no more to give. He hasn't just given up his life, but also his a chance to have a clear conscience, like ever. So this what is cool about that part is that it's basically that the rebellion is not about doing the rebellion is not just demanding physical sacrifices, but also the very essence of a person's humanity. Like, due to the horrible things that they need to do, like, the cause is noble, but the means to get to victory are not, like, basically like in war. So one of the other themes, the thematic elements, is the moral ambiguity, uh, which he delves into, like, a complex moral landscape that Luthen has to navigate. He acknowledged that the action he takes, which are like deception, manipulation, and even the violence that he has to do, are morally questionable. But he has to justify all of these as necessary evils, uh, in order to fight against a greater tyranny. He knows that he's doing it wrong. He's not, like, being deluded about his righteousness. He's basically he's basically aware of his darkness, and he knows he has to embrace that darkness in order, for the sake of the rebellion, in order to win. So what is, from a writer's point of view, this is cool, because it makes this character a tragic figure. Uh, so he's basically turning himself into someone that he hates in order to destroy the the opposition. So he basically he's turning into he's becoming what he hates in order to destroy it, to destroy the the thing that he really hates. He's trying to fight fire with fire at the cost of his soul and integrity. The other thematic element is the cost that the rebellion has on on them, on everyone. So basically, he's understanding that the fight against the empires is not just a physical battle, but also a psychological and moral one. So because it's just not the lives that they lost, like in the war, in the battles, but also the degradation of one's soul. He he one of the points he made is he uses the tools of the enemy of my enemy. I use the tools of my enemy basically to achieve his goals, which is reflecting of the corruption or corrosive effect that the struggle has on him or on the rebels in order to wage war, basically to rebel against the empire. So again, the rebellion has a noble cause, but it has a lot of moral compromises and darkness. And the last one is basically the isolation and loneliness that he has to deal with due to everything that he has gone through. So he says like I share my dreams with ghosts, which basically is implying that he has nobody to confide his atrocities. Like he cannot confess to anyone or talk to anyone about his choices, about his like his regrets about anything. He has to keep it inside, lonely, like because in order to protect the rebellion, and because in the story there's hints that he lost everyone. I think there's hints that he lost his wife or his wife and daughter, something like that, to the empire. So I don't remember well if it is like they said it or it was implied, and that's why he's taking like revenge on the empire. Um, so basically, his commitment to the cause has isolated him from others. So basically, he's carrying the weight of all of his actions alone. So his loneliness is like a sacrifice he has made to further emphasize the personal toll of his very important role on the rebellion. Um, so yeah, that's one of the. I think one of the reasons that I love this is because it's like a tragic. It's very uh, adult, adult writing, and it's basically a tragic hero, and yeah, that's it for tonight. It's been a tired week, and the, until tomorrow I'll make another long video. See you all.